Hello everybody, this is Cooking with Pawpaw. I'm Dave. Hey, check out our new shirts. My Cooking with Pawpaw. And it says Doc's Desserts on the back. Doc's Desserts is us. It's what we do. We're making raisin bread today. My recorder kicked off on me. It does that. It's got a mind of its own sometimes. But we're making raisin bread. And we got the ingredients in the mixer. And then I realized it wasn't recording me. You need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1½ teaspoon of kosher salt, a pack of yeast, a cup of warm water from like 110 to 120 degrees, not over 120. You need 1/8 cup of cooking oil and 1 egg. And you put the flour in it, 1.5 cups, and then 1/2 cup as it mixes, another 1/2 cup and another 1/2 cup as it mixes in. Now we got it all mixed in. We're getting ready to knead it. It's got to knead for 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn the mixer on and let it knead, and I'm going to clean these cups up. So we'll let it knead for 8 minutes. Okay, we've let it knead for 7 minutes. So now we're going to set it over on the stove where I got the oven preheating. Cover it with a dish towel and let it double in size. May take up to an hour, but you got to let it raise. So we'll be back after it raises. Here's what it looks like when you get it all kneaded. Alright, we'll be back.
Hi.
Okay, see ya.
Hi. And if you speak Spanish, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, are you done?
Well, I didn't pause it.
You have to pause it. Okay, it's been rising for about 45 minutes. We're going to grab it and put it on our cutting board. And then we put flour on and roll it out. So, I got 3 tablespoons of butter melting on the stove for this. Kind of feels like Play-Doh. But anyway, we'll roll this out. We'll roll it out to about a 9, what did that say, 9 by, about 9 by 18 or 9 by 16, something like that, rectangle. We're going to knead it into itself so we can flip it. I got the rolling pin here. So we should be able to just roll this out and then grab our butter. And I'm sorry, this one's in 2 parts too. I'm sorry. My recorder just decides to have a brain of its own and a mind of its own and do whatever the heck it wants to do. And then I'm like, whoops, got to start over. But you want to try to get this into a nice rectangle. So it'll come out a nice little loaf of bread for you. It's starting to look fairly good, like a rectangle, huh? You're saying, what? We can't see nothing. I know, I'm sorry. Okay. Hang on a minute, I'll show you this little rectangle we got going on. Ain't move the camera and roll the flour. The dough, man. Yeah. Okay. That's about, yeah, okay. Hang on a second here. I'll be right back and show you what we got. This is like a roll cake. We got to roll it before we bake it. Oh, yeah. Makes life easier. It keeps your hands colder, too. But I got a half a cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Here I mixed together. I also have a cup of raisins here. But here's our little rectangle, okay, that we're working with. Got my paintbrush for it. We're not going to use all the butter. We're going to use about a third of it for this. And then we'll save a little bit back because we got to paint the top twice. All right. Let that sit there for a minute, our butter. I just got it off the stove. And it just ain't quite the way I wanted to paint my dough with. But this is going to be our raisin bread. All right, let's see what we can do here. We're going to use about a third of the butter, if that. And just paint your dough. And I've got a loaf pan over here that I sprayed with pan butter, because we wanted to have a butter flavor because it is going to be a sweet bread. And this mother-in-law see me getting this recipe. She's like, "You gonna make that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I might. I don't know." So here I am in the kitchen where I love to be. I love to cook. It's my favorite pastime besides working on classic cars. And I got 2.5 classic cars. We'll go that route. Now working on restoring. All right, so we got it painted. Now we're gonna take our cinnamon and sugar and sprinkle it over it. Because you know raisin bread's got to have cinnamon and sugar in it, right? And save some of this too because you're gonna need this for the top. So don't get hog wild and use it all. But don't act like it's the last on earth either. Because it's not. Okay. I think that should be good. All right, now let's put some raisins in it. Because it is a raisin bread, right? So just take your cup of raisins and break them up in it. And we'll roll it up here into a ball and we'll put the seam side down and we'll pull the ends over to make the end of the bread, the heel, if you will. And scatter your raisins across that top. So you got raisins everywhere. Because the worst thing is a piece of raisin bread without a raisin in it. That's what I've heard anyway. I wouldn't know. Sense of humor there. Remember, life's too short to take too serious. And don't leave no clumps because you don't want big clumps of raisins in it. You want them scattered out. But you want a raisin in every piece, every bite. You don't want to cheat nobody. And you know how raisins are. They want to stick together. They're buddies. Like the California raisins. Raised in the California sunshine. Oh, we all might not be old enough for that one. But anyway, that's just a joke. And I try to keep it light, easy, and fun. Because that's what life's all about. Having fun. I figured my granddaughter would have popped in here by now. Again. But I'm going to put a little bit more sugar right there and cinnamon in because they just didn't look like it had enough for my eyeballs. But there we got a nice coating of raisins and we got cinnamon and sugar on it. We're getting ready to roll it up, seal it up, and let it raise again. Okay, that's our raisins. We're going to save that for later. I'm going to grab a pan. There's our loaf pan. Okay. Now we're going to roll this up. And hopefully it'll be an amazing treat. Because I'm fixing supper tonight too. And it's going to be some shaved steak. So we want to tuck our ends in like that to where it covers the bottom. And put her in our loaf pan. Okay, and then we're going to brush the top of it with butter before we set it over here to raise. Get a nice coating of butter on the top. We got the oven preheated because we was using the heat from the oven to help it raise. Okay, we got about a tablespoon of butter left. Now we're going to take our cinnamon and sugar mixture and sprinkle the top of it. And then we're going to set it back over here on the stove and let it raise till it doubles in size. Okay, we've had it raising for about an hour. So now we're going to put it in the oven. We got the oven preheated at 375 like I told you. We're going to bake it for 30 to 40 minutes. Keep an eye on it. It gets nice and golden brown on the top. And when you tap it and when it sounds hollow, you know it's done. So we're going to get it in the oven. I'll show you when it comes out. All right, it's been in the oven for about 30 minutes. It's nice and golden brown. We're going to grab it here. Let me get my gloves on. Don't want to burn my fingers. But here it is. Let me move you down here so you can get a good look at this. Okay? It's good and golden brown. Don't know if you can hear this or not. But when I tap on it, it sounds hollow. So now we got to get it out of that pan and put it on the plate. But first, we're going to brush some butter on top of it. The butter we saved, a tablespoon, we're going to brush that on top. And then we're going to transfer it over there to let it cool. So we got that's our dessert for the night. And what you smell in the background is steak tacos. That was right, good smelling. Thank y'all very much. Tomorrow, I think we're going to make some candies. I ain't sure, but we'll see. We'll see you tomorrow.